Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lili Nishmas, Imimir Yossi Rosner Mordechai, Luschus B'ni, Akiva Simcha Ben Fego. Rabbi Isai, how's it possible to do more than learning Torah? We have a picture. More than learning Torah. I've been a loyal MDY Daf Yomi participant since Maseches Beitza. I've attached a picture of myself learning the Daf while donating platelets. I hesitated to send my picture, but felt it might inspire others to go out and donate much needed blood and also literally learn the Daf at the same time. Stay strong with the shir and have a wonderful day. Aryeh Simmons, Karnei Shomron, Dr. Aryeh Simmons, Menahel Yechidat Pagim v'Tipul Nimratz Yiludim, Bet Cholim Laniado. He is the Menahel. How do you say Menahel in English? He's the Menahel of the NICU in Laniado, but he's donating blood, learning Torah. Doesn't get any better. Chesed and Torah at the same time. By Avigdor Weiss. Good morning. I looked at Chanukah. So he says like this, they played a game in his house. Each person buys a gift and you have to guess who it came from. I know you take pride in colorful socks, but you might have some competition now. I'll have a special Shabbos sock, blah, blah, blah. Loving every Daf and Taanis, especially the charts, and is bringing out the sugi so much clearer than the last 6 years I was learning this. This is the guy that sent us the picture of his mocked up Daf. This is what his Daf looked like. And now he's enjoying it even more after 6 years of learning Taanis. Thank you so much for all the pictures. I can't thank you enough. Once again, your Talmud Muvak from Clifton, New Jersey, Avigdor Weiss. What do his socks look like, Rabbi Isai? Take a very close look. At least somebody had enough from this. Jonathan Stefansky just came back. Benazera socks. No. This is, but no, it's on the bottom also. The bottom, he steps on them. He steps on.
Under, go to Benazera socks on the merchandise.
Jonathan, where are these places?
Ooh.
First, it's a combination to make you feel good.
Oh, this is the pizza shop. This is the pizza shop. Pizza time. San Diego, Miami, France. You said Panama. Michael Ben Shitri is here. What is this? Oh, Essen Delicatessen. He got me covered. This is my cousin, Jonathan Stefansky. If you don't know who he is, look at Rosh Chodesh Adar in the last 2 years. Amazing stuff. What? The pizza shop. The tuna guy. He's the one that came with the line, taking Stefanskys from tuna to Torah. Oh, today's your father's yard side. That's right. Okay. I know. I saw it in here somewhere. I would like to sponsor. Listen to this. Jonathan Itzkowitz. He's the guy. Ooh, I didn't print those. I have to print those. Refuah Levy, the Raphael, I forgot his last name. Raphael, the barber. He brought yesterday, because he put up a sign in his store, he brought 6 new guys to the shir. And he has pictures of 4 of them. Who brought the barber? Jonathan Itzkowitz. What does Jonathan Itzkowitz say? He says, you mentioned the other day that you'd like to install video screens in yeshivas so that the Bachram can do the daf, right? We invented a new product, literally a new product. It's a computer monitor. They can't do anything. You can't manipulate it. You can't break into it. You can't show a movie on it. Nothing. It could just show MDY shiurim. That's it. And downloads it automatically, the whole thing. I told my son to ask his Rosh Yeshiva if he would be okay with it. And if so, I would like to sponsor it. So he wants to buy the first one. We think it's about $700-800 a pop. He liked it more. So we have the first donation and the first, we have already like five orders already. Baruch Hashem. Yochanan Itzkowitz. Okay. We have a long, very, very gishmakit agada to daf today, but we have to do sponsors. By the way, I want to say Yishkoyach to Yeshua Berman. I mentioned his name yesterday. He's the one that does our tests. He also donated 50 Gemaras, $1,250, 50 Gemaras towards new people coming to the shir, old people that are bringing new people.
Also, the link to the quiz is on the main shir as well.
The link to the quiz is on the main shir as well. It used to be only on the 8-minute daf. 8-minute daf, if you don't know what that is, it's a synopsis of the daf in like 5-6 minutes. Called 8 minutes. It used to be 8 minutes. It's a good chazara and it has the test as well. Parnas hachodesh for the koilel is Chaim from Lakewood. Maseches Taanis is dedicated to the by the Kessler and the Davis families. Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther bas devora. Parnas hachodesh chodesh Kislev sponsored by Yoli. Eli Stefansky Pנחס ben Monsey. Eli Rוחמה Phromã bas Pנחס. Eli Shregã ben Abraham Levi. Parnas hachodesh Reuven Klein. For his mother Nechama bas Calev. Parnas hachodesh the Hanas Bros in honor of the Hanasabzadeh and Krispin Benazera Families and Shlomo Lalezarian for inspiring us to join MDY. The MDY Monsey, Teaneck, and Passaic Chevra as a schus for shleima for the son of one of our local MDY Chevra, Al Yeshua ben Malkachaya. I got good news. The baby's out of the hospital. Still needs tefillos, and it was a tremendous chizuk for the parents that the oilam got together like this, learning the Refuah shleima. Yitzi Mandel, Lili Nishmas, Abi Maria Tzalik, Avraham Benish ben Yחיאל, Yehuda Hakoyen Mandel on his 5th yard side. Yossi Rosner, my father's yard side, 28th of Kislev. I wish I knew his name. Howard Sickles, yard side for Benish Mandel, F35. How do you pronounce this? Okay, if you don't know, so I don't have to know, I want to punish. Rocky Kane, in the schus of my father, Yecheskel ben Chava Osnas, now is having heart surgery today. Jonathan Chafetz, in honor of the Chasana. Listen to this. Rabbi Yisai, in honor of the Chasana of our daughter, Shoshana Malko Bas Dina, and her Chasan, Chaim Zalman ben Shulamis. The Zivuk should be Oila Yofa. You should only see Nachas from them. And the Chasan should be Zoicha to do the Daf with us. And our grandfather Rav Nissen ben Chaim Isaac Chafetz, who was nifter on his birthday. He was nifter on his birthday. He was mashlim his year like Moshe Rabbeinu on the 5th licht of Chanukah after a long career as a Rav in Nashville, Tennessee, South River, New Jersey, and Cleveland, Ohio. In memory of my father Rav Yisachar ben Rav Moshe Yosef Chaim on his 10th yard side. Jonathan Stefansky and family. The Nechama should have an aliyah. David Kramer, not even my Baltimore City Councilman Yitzi Schleifer, who was here the other day. His sponsor, Mike Cater, official, who was here the other day. And my financial advisor. We have some, Nechama, what's your name again from? David Kramer from Baltimore. We shouldn't get used to it. We had, when you weren't here, Noam, we had a day, one day had 6 guests, the next day 7 guests. And now, shut down. These are the guys that got stuck here. So all right, they're back. Officials back. What? My financial mayor from HGI. Is he your financial advisor? Also. And my nephew, Jake Lebovic, who are committed to doing the daf with MDY. Yeshua Perlowitz, happy birthday to my wonderful wife, Leah, something like that. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. Leah, you know her? Oh, get over here. How do you spell your wife's name? Why did you marry someone like that? Leye? It's like Schleifler. Okay, fine. But you did her. She's the best thing that ever happened to you. So it was a good choice with the name and everything. All right, happy birthday! Unbelievable. Yishkoyach. Oh, this is a guy from Koilo. 13 years in Koilo. I don't have his email there. But who's that? It's going to take a long time for me to go through all these. No, come on, let's do it again. His name is Yisrael Levy. It's a Koil guy, 13 years in Koil, he does stuff with us. It's good stuff. Hold on, let's hear the words. Louder! It's nice cringe. Okay, fine. Dear Rebelli, I really enjoy learning Daf together with the whole MDY family. We look forward to it like a good old wine that just gets better by the day. Baruch Hashem and Calev for 13 years, and we make sure to find time to learn the Daf. Yisrael Levy, Brooklyn, New York. Here we go, Rabbi Yisai, Daf Yomi Beis. We are by Tanu Rabbanon story. Famous Maisa. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lines from the bottom. Tanu Rabbanon, Pa Machas, Olu Kol Yisrael Regel Yushalayim, V'lo Yehoyolem Mayim Lishtois. Klal Yisrael is coming up and there's no drinking water. Holach Nagdim Ben Gurion. Nagdim Ben Gurion is a very wealthy individual. He went to one of these goyim. Omar loy halveini shtevesri mayonois mayim lo'oler regalim. Please lend me 12 wells. Now, he did a deal with him. I'm not going to pay you for the water. What I'm going to do is I'll bet you. It's very late into the season. It hasn't rained yet. I will give you $22 million if I don't return this. If I do return, I don't pay you anything. Deal or not? No deal. The guy said, deal. He knows it's not going to rain. The chances are very low, and it's an enormous amount of money. So, if I don't pay you back, 72,000 dinarim of Kessler. And he said, by this and this day. So the guy starts annoying him straight out in the morning. The other says to get on his nerves so that the tefillah doesn't work well. So why didn't he wait till the evening? Fine. I need my money, or give me the water back. It's still not the evening. I still have the whole day. In the afternoon, the same thing. The day's not over. I still have a little bit of time. The guy started laughing at him. It hasn't rained yet. In these few minutes, Amud Aleph. Says the Marsha, you went in here to show him, look how much water I have. I could bathe in water. I have swimming pools worth of water. You're nothing. You're so happy and joyous. He's going to make his $22 million. I just made that number up. Nagdima was sad. He goes into the Beis HaMikdash. Where else are you going to daven? The best place in the world to daven. He got dressed in his clothing for tefillah, and he stood there, and he said to Rebbeinu Shalom, I didn't do it for my honor, not for the honor of anybody else. I did it for your honor, Rebbeinu Shalom. So that we have water for those who are coming up. It's a big thing. Remember, we did the Yumdin. You can make a pit in Mil Rosh Hashanah, so people have water. Miyad niskashu shomayim ba'ovim. By the way, if you just on this block right over here, coming up Ayalon, one of the most beautiful things in Klal Yisrael, a guy put out a water fountain in front of his house. So anybody going up the hill, and it's a big hill, cups, the whole thing. Cups today are gold. You come there sometimes in the morning, and there's 100 cups on the floor, and it keeps on going. The guy just did it by the park now. The guy by the park, literally hundreds of cups on the floor there every night. Anyway, chesed. So it started raining, it filled up his pits, and even more. He didn't even realize the rain. He's coming out of the bathhouse, he's coming out of the Beis HaMikdash. You owe me water. It's like a joke. Not only did I pay you back, but you owe me a little extra. The guy tells him, I know HaKadosh Baruch Hu stirred up the world for you. Ella, guess what? You still owe me the money. I'm going to go to court and sue you. I'm going to make my $22 million. By the way, it was already nighttime when the rain fell. So it didn't fall when you owed me. It fell afterwards. And that's it. You owe me the money. You can't pay me back in water. So he goes back to the Beis HaMikdash. He stood there and davened. Show that you have people that you love in this world. What happened? Says the Gemara, it's one of the only times in history that the sun stood still. It became daytime. It's a nace. Now, what is the connection between this and Chanukah? Is there a connection? Anybody? Well, because it's Chanukah, there's a connection. Huh? No. A nice connection. Over here, the nace is a very interesting nace. It's a nace to show that Kadosh Baruch Hu loves us. It's not a nace to save us, and it was not a nace that's, so to speak, necessary. Sometimes that's Chanukah. Chanukah, we also, Kadosh Baruch Hu say this from the Goyim, but we celebrate, what do we celebrate? We celebrate the side nace, the nace of the Pach Shemen. It wasn't necessary, so there won't be a menorah. No, Kadosh Baruch Hu loves us. Kadosh Baruch Hu goes out of his way and does a nace to show you love. Over here, he didn't have to, the sun didn't have to stand still. He could have done whatever. It wasn't to save Klal Yisrael, but it's a nace to show how much he loves us. Look at the lashon. It's to show, not to save Klal Yisrael, to show how much you love us. And he, huh? What didn't last? Okay. So for that, the nace was for that part. Okay. No, I'm saying that it didn't last. It was just for a moment of show of love. If the sun wouldn't stand still, then I'll be able to get my money back. Tana. The Gemara says, his real name is not Nagdim ben Gurion, it's Buni ben Gurion. It broke through the sun broke through the clouds, even though it was already after Shkia. The 3 times in history, there might be more. The Rishonim talk about it. Moshe, Yeshua, Benagdim ben Gurion. This is one of the 3 times. Bishlam Benagdim ben Gurion, Gemara. We just learned it. It's a tradition. Everything is great. Yeshua Nami and Yeshua Kro. Dichsiv Vayidoim Hashemesh. The sun stood still. V'oreach Amod, and it stopped. Ela Moshe Menala. How do we know what happened by Moshe? Now, by the way, the Pirkei de Rebbe Eliezer says that what happened by Yeshua was on the Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos, so that's why the sun. Yeshua was concerned that Klal Yisrael would be Mechal Shabbos, so the sun stood. Omer Rebbe Eliezer. Asya Ochel Ochel. Ochel means it's a lashon of I will start, I'll begin. So we learn in Xer Shav, it says the word Ochel by Yeshua, it says the word Ochel by Moshe, and we learn the 2 from each other. Ksiv Hacha Ochel Tais Pachdecha, Ksiv Hasam Ochel Gadelcha by Yeshua. It also says Ochel. Yeshua Melech Meiri Omar Asya Teis. Another word here. Here are the words. If you want to see them, it's fine. We need it for later anyway. Either from this word Ochel says by Moshe and by Yeshua, or this word Teis says by both of them. Ksiv Hasam by Yom Teis Hashem Yisrael. Rabbi Elchan Omar, ask me Gufei Dekra. You don't have to go Xer Shav and learn 2 words from each other, this word to that word. From this pasuk alone, it says in this pasuk, Asher Yishmun Shimacha v'rogzu v'cholom Panecha. The Goyim are going to hear what happened and they'll be fearful of you. But look at the end of the pasuk. Where exactly do you see it in the pasuk that they're going to scare from you from rogzu v'cholom Panecha? That's why I printed this out. Because it's kedai to see the end of the pasuk, this part of the pasuk. It says, Tachas kol hashamayim. How in the world could everybody under the sky hear something and be fearful of the Jews at the same time? Under the entire sky. On the entire sky means that the sun stopped at that moment and everybody in the world saw it and understood it. So in the pasuk, the Mishnah says, if there's a city that it rained and a city that didn't rain, so the city that didn't rain, they have to do X, Y, Z. But the pasuk that the Mishnah brings, that pasuk is a klala for both. Not the Mishnah, the pasuk. So that what? The pasuk is saying that it's going to rain over here, it's not good rain, and it's not going to rain over here, there's no rain. No rain is terrible, and too much rain is terrible. They're both a klala. Yerushalayim is going to be like a nida. Omar Avid Omar Rav livracha. It's a good thing. What's the good thing? Why is it good? Nida can be toivel, no more. So to Yerushalayim, we'll come back to the Hoysek almana. Yerushalayim is going to be like a widow, like an almana. Omer Rav Yehuda livracha. Also a good thing. Kalmana v'lo almana mamish. It's ki almana, like an almana, but not an almana. El ki isha shalach bayla l'mdis hayam v'daitu lachzor leo. Husband disappears for a while. So first of all, she can't get married to anybody else. So she can't find another city. She can't find another Klal Yisrael, can't find another place. But I saw in the Karen Oira, I don't know that he's saying it mamish like this, but from his words, I saw a nice pshat that there's a big difference between a nida and an almana. A nida is in her hands. She is the one that decides whether or not she's going to be toivel or not. The almana is dependent on her husband. When he decides to come back, when a Kodesh Baruch Hu decides to come back, that's it. It's not in our hands. The nida, on the other hand, we're the nida. We could do what we want to do in order to fix things up. I'm going to make you low. A shuffle is a low person. Nivza, a bazui, a despised person. Klal Yisrael is going to be despised. Again, you're thinking all these things, need the halmana, the terrible things. No, they're good. Over here also, a nivza and a shuffle is a good thing. Why is it good? So, a Reish Nahara, a guy in charge of the river, the guy in charge of the tolls, the guy in charge of the taxes, those are the most despised people in the world. The guy is giving the tickets, in your park. You want to be one of those? So if Goyim, they despise the Yidden, it says here cops. Where's Avi? He's not here today, Avi.
I'm here.
You're here. That's why you're not a cop anymore, right? We have an ex-New York cop. Pakach. Big Kitzer. The people that the general population despises, so it's good. Nobody likes Jews. So they don't like Jews, so they're not going to make them the pakachim, the cops, the this and that. So it's good for you to be despised. As I said to Gemara, you don't have to worry about it. Baruch Hu is going to punish Klal Yisrael like a reed in the water. Here's a reed in the water. A reed? Yeah, this hot dog thing. In the water. Whoa. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? It's a good thing. Huh? It's a good thing. You know it has hot dogs? No, you thought it's something else. You thought it's the schach. I know. So you're going to see. It's on the water. You didn't know it's on the water either. It's time out. There's a reason for everything. Sorry. Nemanim, trustworthy, are the wounds of the beloved. The opposite. Na'atar says Rashi, the opposite are the kisses of the enemy. The enemy, Lavan kisses you. It's terrible stuff. It's not a good thing. But when your beloved, the person that likes you, gives you a zetz, that's good. Why is that good? Now, by the way, just looking around, I love these Rashis. I like it. Let's see if anybody sees the Rashi the way I saw it. Rashi did Ramaskil v'na'torois neshikois soine. Smack in the middle of the page. Read where it says inami. Anybody could come up with this. Inami na'torois loshin ribuy v'yitur. What's the next word? Increase. So yitur v'ribuy is an increase in Laz. Increase. You have to read the sin, not a shin. And in fact, in my Gemara, it's with a sin. Not a big shtick that I got it, huh? Increase. Fine. In other words, that the second pshat in Rashi is just that the neshika is just what? Yeah. What does fork mean? Oh, a fork that it flips over. Oh, you're saying good. He's saying it's one of those forks for hay, a pitchfork. So it's a fork of Elaz that it flips the two over. Very good. Another one.
Then Rashi increases it and gives another pshat.
Yeah, another pshat. The shika is that these the kisses of a saina is a burden. It's too much. It's an increase. It's much. Okay, that's the other pshat. Bottom line is, The what? Toiva, sorry. Toiva klal shekilel Achi Ashiloini. Achi Ashiloini was a Navi. He's the Rebbe of who? Of Yerovam ben Avat. By the way, the Hasidim, and a lot of Sifri Hasidim said that Achi Ashiloini was the Maggid of the Baal Shem Tov. Stop, you should know. If you want to know who the Maggid was. So it says like this. Achi Ashiloini, almost, it looks like a bad thing that he said. The klala shekila Achi Ashiloini is Israel. His klala, because he's a ayev, he's somebody that loves us. He's a navi. His curse is better than the bracha of Bilam. Achi Ashiloini kilam bekana. He said Klal Yisrael should be like this reed right over here. This one. Yeah. No. I just remembered another thing. I was once on the way home. My father was the Rebbe in Shar Yoshuv, and we were on the way home from Shar Yoshuv Bungle County to the city. And my mother, Aleh Shalom, saw this on the side of the road. So she decided she needs to pick some of these it'll be nice in the house or something. So she picks it, and she got stopped by a cop. I remember the cop said, "What do you know? It's usher. You can't pick these are property of the state, protected, whatever." That's what the guy. She went home. Yeah, without the kana. Kana is big stuff. Some people like kanim. You stop on the side of the highway for kanim. So what's the curse? It's in a place of water. So maybe it means that there's a constant source of energy and food, or maybe if you want to go into Gaiva Delio, we have Torah, we have the constant thing of Torah, Mayim Torah, v'gizay machlev v'shorosh merubim, and you cut it, it regrows. Because it's soft, so no matter how strong the wind is, it's not going to blow it out of its place. It's in water, it has the stream of water never hurts it. It constantly goes with it. But once the winds calm down, then the reed stands up in its place. Bilam said Klal Yisrael should be like the cedar. Doesn't have a lot of roots, as you'll see in this coming picture right over here. It's very strong, so wind is not going to knock it down. Once the tornado comes, this is a cedar tree. Why? How could it knock it down? Because the roots are very shallow. Very shallow roots, so a giant tree like that, poof, knocks it down. You take from that reed, you can make one of these quills. I just did an enlargement of what it looks like. It's a little bit on a slant, and there's a little bit of a space here for the ink. But you could use this for a kulmos. So it's a gift back to Klal Yisrael. You're kana, but we'll get back. You'll be able to write a Sefer Torah with it. If you look at Taisus, they're very interesting Taisus. I'm pointing it out for a fact, just a side fact. Taisus says V'yesh Mefarshim Hachi. He goes through the whole Rashi, the two different things, and he says V'yesh Mefarshim V'nataris Neshiko Sonim. Look at Taisus, interesting. If two people that love each other, they have a fight and they hate each other, says Taisus, Hasinu Ne'emana. That's the greatest fight that a person can have, is with his beloved. You fight with a parent, you fight with a sibling. Those are the worst fights ever. When two enemies that used to love each other make peace, that's the greatest peace that one can know. There's a story with some Sofer that he's at a chuppah, and right before a guy comes running over and says, Rebbe, this guy in the chuppah, he cannot get married. The mom's it's also for him to get married. Some Sofer said, get out of here. You're Passaic, you're probably related to him. He said, how do you know? He says, because only someone that's related would do something so nasty and wait all the way to the chazan. He said, another guy, you're in a fight, whatever, you know something, the guy's engaged for 3 months, what are you coming today? Only somebody, that's a soina, a real sinner. Says the Gemara Torah Rabbanon. Listen to this story. A person should be soft like a reed, and don't be as tough like a cedar. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon Atana, he was coming from his Rebbe's house. He was on a donkey, and he was on the edge of the water. He was in heaven. He was so happy he was in heaven. He was so proud of himself. He mamish felt good. Why? Because he learned a ton of Torah, like a guy gets 100 on the Dirsha test. He's full of it. Amud Beis. There's a guy that was ugly as can be. When you open up the dictionary for ugly, this guy's picture pops up. So the ugly guy tells the Tana, Shalom Alecha Rabbi. Hello, how are you? He didn't answer him back. And then he not only doesn't answer him, he yells at him. He says, Reika, you empty head. Look how ugly you are. Peleplay. Before we go into any pshatim. Daf Yomi sponsored. In memory of my mother, Yisrael Rosner, and Avigail Gidel Bas Pesach B'Chava Rivka, sponsored anonymously as a schus for shidduchim for my siblings and myself. Shema kol b'nei ircha mechoyarim k'moischa. Is it possible that you come from an ugly city that everybody's ugly as you? Omar Loi, Eini Yoidea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Elo lech ve'amar le'uman shosa'ani kama mechoyer klize shosisa. Go tell my Creator how ugly is this vessel that you created. Says the Gemara, you're all mamish scratching your head here. I have pshat though. Kivin shiyoda ba'atzmi shechata. Once he realized that he sinned, the Tana sinned, he said such a not nice thing. This is what you do, Rabbi Isai. You realize you did something wrong. You have to be machniya yourself. You have to go stoop all the way down low. I had a person that wasn't talking to me, so I called the person up and I asked Mechila. I didn't understand exactly what I did. Said, that's the problem. You don't even understand how bad what you did it. So I called up a big pro in this, and the guy told me, he said, your problem is that you're not stooping low enough. You got to stoop to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. That's how you call somebody else. You came with the little gaiva, it's not going to work. My side, I don't really speak to that person still. It didn't work. No, seriously, I was on the phone once for over an hour with the person. I don't even know what I pushed don't chap, but okay. What? How do you know it's a he? Oh my Lord! I said it was more than 3 times. More than 3 times, the whole thing. Fine. Oh my Lord! There's other people involved in it. Oh my Lord! I'm serious. It's a nice idea of stooping down. Don't come with like, oh, I don't really have to ask Mechila, and I'm just doing a favor. And you have to stoop to the lowest of the low. On condition, I'll be meichel you. On one condition, that you say, you tell the Rebbeinu Shalom how ugly I am. I just want to say one thing. How could you imagine the Chavetz Chaim walking over telling a guy, you're such an ugly human being. Get out, I'm not going to talk to you. This is a Tana. If not the Chavetz Chaim, if you can't imagine the Chavetz Chaim, how would a Tana talk like that? So I want to tell you like this. I was once learning with a very, I had this chus in Chicago. Adam Choshev showed up there. I learned with him. And as we're learning, a guy from the neighborhood walks in to the shul. And this Adam Choshev looks at me and goes, "Oy, Tuma." So I say, I know the guy's a shtickle balaveir also, but I said, the guy works in a Chevra Kedisha. He goes, oh, Nichamtani, you made me feel much better now. I didn't know what it was. I felt like, I don't know, it's something crazy. Much. Okay. Nice Shaya. So I saw in the Ben Yoyada, I saw in based on the Marsha Ben Yoyada, what he saw was a virus. He saw a terrible person. And what happened was, and it's not, hold on, it gets better, this pshat. He said, you're mechur, you're disgusting. But he was playing on words. Not only was the guy a mechur in Maisim, he happened to be an ugly person. But the Tana didn't mean that. The Tana meant to say, first of all, why are you coming over to say hello? That's not the proper way to do it. in the time of the Gemara, you don't say, hello, shalom, you don't wave. Fine, that's one thing. But you're balavera. You're balavera, get away from me. But he used the lashon that hurt the guy's feeling. The guy that heard it heard, I'm ugly. He didn't hear I heard averis, and he was very insulted. And that you have to be careful of. When you give a guy mussar like that, and it could also insult him like that, he should have used another lashon. That makes me feel better, this pshat. Anyway, it could be, what? Oh, and Rashi says, okay, so Rashi says there's Eliyahu Navi, or Napshari, that Eliyahu Navi did it to teach him a lesson, etc. Okay. Weiter gegangen in the story. He's walking behind him, he's begging him, please forgive me. Shalom Alecha, Rabbi, Moiri. Maybe that's a better way of doing it. Shalom Alecha. Amar Lehem. There's a Rosh Yeshiva that came to a different city, and everybody was waiting in the airport for him. Oh, this place. And they're all waiting, the hundreds of people. He says, Rabbi Isai, you didn't have to come to the airport. You didn't have to come to the airport. Hey, once you're here, okay, anyway. Rabbi, Mori. Rabbi. So this guy's confused. It's like that story of the Chavetz Chaim. Like the guy patched him or something on what's the famous story? They were on a gala and the Chavetz Chaim spoke against the Chavetz Chaim. So the guy gave him a zet, and then all of a sudden he shows up at the train station and everybody's there. What's going on here? They're there for you. You're him. You're a rabbi. You're a Tana. You call this guy a tzaddik? Forget about it. What did he do to you? He called me you should be moichelim. Is a great Talmud Chacham. Because of you, I will be moichelim. But on condition he doesn't do this very often. And then he said this pshat. You should always be soft like a reed. Over here, it fits him beautifully. Don't be tough with the guy that's over Averis. Okay. Because the kana is so soft and gets along with everybody, and it stands up to the winds and everything. It always gets pushed over, and there's always tsars and kleins. But at the end of the day, the kana gets something special. It gets to write. So when there's calamities like earthquakes, Rashi over there says by the earthquake that it happens from the wind. I didn't point it out yesterday. But the point is, bad stuff happen, and there's a magefa. Says the Gemara, we're talking about walls that are strong walls that happen to fall down. That's calamity. That shows that Kadosh Baruch Hu is doing something here. But if it's ru'uos, they're falling apart. These walls are about to fall anyways, and then they fall down. You don't start fasting because of that. Now the brisa repeats itself. She'enon ru'uyos lipol, v'loy haruyos lipol. We're chazing over the lashon, and the Gemara wants to know why. These are not walls that are about to fall down. V'loy haruyos lipol. Says the Gemara, "Hey, briyos." What does it mean they're strong? Hey, she'enon ru'uyos lipol. What does it mean they're not ready to fall? Hey, ru'uyos lipol. It's the same thing. Says Gemara, so Gemara gives two pshatim in one thing, that it's not a wall that's weak, but it's a wall that's about to fall down. How do you have a wall that's about to fall down, but it's very strong? Because it's very tall. It's not built to scale. It's narrow and it's very, very tall. Strong like anything. It's made out of cement. But it's so narrow, it's 120 feet tall, it's going to topple over eventually. Inami, ruis means literally, it's like a one of those churvas. You know, you look at it, it looks like it's falling down. Inami, the kaimen agudah nahara. It's by the bank of the river. So the bank of the river, there's a lot of erosion from the water, so it's going to fall down. But right now, it's a very strong wall. Says Gemara, another pshat. Kahiyah shisa, there was a wall, ru'ua dahava ben arda. So here you have a wall, says Rashi. You have to look at Rashi for this. Here's the opposite case. You have a wall that's about to fall down, but it's not going to fall down. How do I know it's not going to fall down? The famous Rav and Shmuel wouldn't go underneath it. Oh, It's already standing like this for 13 years. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's not going to fall. It's Refuah. It looks like it's not going to fall. It's been like that for 13 years. It's not going to fall. Big tzaddik Rav Ada bar Hava shows up. Let's go. Let's not go underneath this. Let's go around like we always do. We don't need to. We have protection from Rav Ada bar Hava. It's not going to fall on him. He has a lot of schusim. I'm not worried. Ravuna, the famous Ravuna from the Gdolim, has wine in a house that's about to fall down. Rav Ada bar Hava lost him. He didn't want to go in. But Rav Ada bar Hava happened to be a guest over there. So he had a trick. He started talking to him and learning. So when he's talking to him and learning, Rav Ada was spacing out. He was thinking in his learning, and he drags him into this terrible place. Argish Rav Ada bar Hava. Basa the nofak beisa. They come out, and a little while later, poof, the house falls down. Argish Rav Ada bar Hava. Rav Ada bar Hava realized the trick that happened to him. He realized he was talking to him, learning. It wasn't so maybe l'shma. It was more to get him into the schurva. Ikpid. He was upset at him. Why? A person is not allowed to put himself in danger. Perhaps they won't make an eggs. Where is it in this week's parasha? This idea. This week's parasha. No. And this is the famous thing I like to talk about it, and people get upset at me, so we're not going to discuss it. Whether or not you're allowed to make moifsim for no reason, and what does it do, and why you don't do moifsim, why you should do moifsim. But the point is, if you do a nes, if you're going to be samech on a nes, you're going to do it takes away from your schusim. It's not freebies. You don't just go ahead and make sure the walls don't fall down and this and that and nahinah. It's something that needs to be considered. This idea, Omer Rav Chanan, my krodich siv. Where do we see this in the pasuk? Katainti. This was a very sad day in MDY actually. During Shachris, our famous Balkari, Menachem Ateh, the other one was anticipating Katainti, and he goes ahead and goes Revi. Katainti. He does it all the time. Lahachis. We know it's Lahachis, and a lot of the island was Moicha, but whatever. It was a sad day in MDY. Katainti mikol hachasodim umikol emes. What does that mean? Now we know what it means. Katainti. Mikol hachasodim, because of all the chesed. When a Kosh Baruch Hu does chesed with somebody, you have to be careful. That means that something's going on here. It's not for free. These houses, these cars, it comes off your schusim. And when I see Katainti, I became smaller as a result of these chasadim and emes. Now, there's a big rate here. Why not? I need to die. When I was born, it says I'm going to die when I'm 80 years old. So I could walk under here, I could walk over there. What's the problem? That's this week's parasha. That it says in the parasha that Yaakov Avinu said about Binyamin, Pen Yikrenu Asayin. He was concerned. Normally speaking, Binyamin is going to live till XYZ. Those are his years. But if you're going to put a person in a sakana, that's the Gemara in Shabbos, when a woman gives birth, all of a sudden, she could die from this, and that. Why? Because Lamaisa, she's supposed to live text. But when you open up a matzav of sakana, then Hashem says, wait a minute, what's going on? They say, she doesn't deserve to live. I need to exercise special protection from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now it's not a time that I'm going to exercise because it's open. This is sakana. Things are happening. That's something else. Yeah, you could kill yourself. That's something else. Fine. Zog the Gemara. By the way, think about this, it's very interesting. What is the worst type of ritzicha in the world? The worst type of murder in the world? I'll tell you what the second to worst is, I think, is killing your own family. You kill a stranger is one thing. Killing your own kid is terrible. What's worse than that? Killing yourself. Who says that? Killing yourself is the worst, the biggest achzaris you could do, is killing yourself. All right. So, what was the big godless of Rav Ada bar Hava? I don't really see what time it is, Gershon, because it's blocking it says to me 800. To me, that's 800. I never got upset in my house. Now, obviously, in your house, if you don't get upset in your house, that means kolchkin out of your house. Because it's very easy to stay calm outside. Let's see you be without kas to your wife and kids. I never took steps. They say, we learned in the Gemara that when you walk with somebody greater than you, walk on his right and the left, you never took one step forward. Now, we don't understand so much what this means, but think about it. Says Rashi, every moment in his waking life, he was learning Torah. So imagine a guy that 24/7 is thinking Torah, and then he has to walk by a pile of whatever, something that doesn't smell very good. He has to stop his machshava. It's almost impossible. That's a tremendous thing that he stopped. And according to the Marsha, it seems like he never even went by a mavois and tunafos, even though he had a het or two. He didn't want to because he always wanted to be 4 hours with Torah. Fine. I have no idea what we're holding. Oh, Torah. Below tefillin and without tefillin. Even though you're allowed to sleep in the mismarriage, maybe shenis ara, he never did. You have to understand what this means. I was never happy when my friend something bad happened. Let's say, but they say even a dover had. Let's say I bought a house from a guy and I got a great deal. I wasn't happy. Oh, but he lost out. I never called my friend according to Tosfos like a nickname, a not nice nickname. And this is very interesting. Could you call your friend, let's say your last name is Shlafrak, and you just start calling Shlafrak, you make fun of him, Shlafrak, is that a problem? But more than that, I saw the Pele Yoyit says, do you not say Rebbe Yashin? It's not nice. You don't say, hey, Friedman, come over here. So you don't call Gadol by his last name, Kanievsky. Kanievsky says that it's not nice. Well, there's Amachol, you say, no, but you're sticking Rav Kanievsky, Rav Eliashiv, then it's okay. Have a wonderful day. Freilich and Chanukah.